by opponents of the nominee.
I question the sincerity of demands for more documents. In other words, what more do they need to know to vote no?
The volume of information request is emerging as the biggest battle over President Trump's nomination of the 53-year-old conservative appellate judge. Stocks, after getting off to a weak start, moved higher primarily on strong gains in the tech sector amid the announcement Apple has become the world's first trillion-dollar company. The Nasdaq was up 96 points today. The Dow dropped 7 points. This is NPR.
Buy it, use it, break it, fix it, trash it, change it, mail, upgrade it, charge it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it, quick erase it, write it, cut it, paste it, save it, load it, check it, quick rewrite it, plug it, play it, burn it, rip it, drag it, drop it, zip, unzip it, lock it, fill it, call it, find it, view it, code it, jam, unlock it, surf it, scroll it, pause it, click it, cross it, crack it, switch, update it, name it, read it, tune it, print it, scan it, send it, fax, rename it, touch it, bring it, pay it, watch it, turn it, leave it, start, format it, Technologic.
Live from studios in Self Hall on the beautiful campus of Jacksonville State University, it's the Hey Techies Show. Now, here are your hosts in chairs that should have been thrown out years ago, Michael, Bruce, and the Guru.
Well, Bruce,
welcome into the Hey Techies Show. Oh, dang it. I was trying to do it at the same time as you.
Well, I wasn't going to say that.
Yeah, you weren't. You changed it. I saw you over
didn't.
there thinking.
Well,
but there was a delay on the recording.
A delay?
Right there.
What?
So
What?
that's where I was watching
What?
you. I was watching you on the
I
screen
see.
across
You're watching the video.
the video.
At heytechiesshow.com.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Yeah, and it's via YouTube. That's correct. Thanks to YouTube for allowing us to do that.
Yeah, thank you, YouTube.
Yeah.
Maybe we can.
One of those Google services
Yeah.
of that evil company that took out the words, don't be evil.
It's still in their code of conduct.
And apparently not.
No, it's still in their code
Well,
of conduct.
apparently they're doing things that people question whether or not
Now,
it's there. I know. We'll get into that
Yeah,
later, though.
we'll get into it.
That's one thing.
We may not be able to be seen in China.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Let's put it that way.
Let's see. We had this little crazy thing happen today up in New York City and across the globe. Did you know about it?
I'm intrigued. I think I know what you're talking
That
about.
little apple.
Oh,
they had
yeah. That's what I figured.
Apple.
They filled that little chunk that's out of the apple
Yeah.
that completed the
Yes.
$1 trillion.
That was the 1%.
That was the
They
1%.
pulled that
Okay.
leaf above it.
Yeah, they pulled it and put it back down on the apple. And we'll cover more about that. And I'm sure
so
you
no need to buy any more Apple products.
yeah.
That's it. It's
That's
over.
it.
They're
It's
done.
over. Bye.
They're done.
Yeah, who knows?
Mission
about it.
accomplished.
Yeah. And lots of leaks about Apple stuff. You know, that's the thing. Have you ever in all what was that? We
It
bumped
could
something.
be this.
It's
It
that
was-
spring on your mic on
Yeah.
there.
It looks
Bruce.
like somebody's tried to tie something up. there.
Well,
Honestly.
it was off whenever I came. I pulled it back, so it may
may fly off here.
it
in a
may
minute.
Well,
fly
anyway.
off, yeah.
By the way, welcome to the
Hey Techie Show.
and we are glad to have you in. Now, I don't know if you were here with us last week, but we had
I was.
you were. Bruce will not be here next week.
I will not.
But we had
So excited.
we had a caller, Daniel, call, and that was
Yes,
a
we
good call.
did.
I enjoyed hearing Daniel call back.
Hopefully, he heard our answer
Yeah.
because I told him, "Give me a couple of weeks, I'll give you an answer to that." I already gave him
Yeah,
an answer
and
in
you had
5
one.
minutes.
And Guru, you're doing good, right?
Yes, doing well. Thank you.
Yeah. So we got the whatever Bruce wants to talk about.
Man, I'm like a kid on Christmas Eve
The,
right
four,
now.
the four things that he wants to talk about.
So we just sit back for the rest of the show
Pretty
and let
close.
Bruce talk.
Well, he could.
Yeah.
I have no doubt.
Yeah.
We've covered that before. But we
Maybe.
have this other thing. This other thing where Michael gets to sit here and say Michael was right.
Oh, it's something new.
Yeah. No.
So I can't say I disagreed with you,
no, I didn't say you
From
did.
the
No, I
original.
didn't say you did.
but you did. You did voice it.
I did. I did voice, and
At
we'll
the
talk. If we don't forget about
Yeah.
that, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that coming up. It's you probably know about this. You listening? Movie Pass. Well, anyway,
Guess we're getting into it so we don't forget about it.
We
Yeah.
talked about it last week, didn't we?
We did, but we're going
Yeah.
to get further into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we've got some NASA updates tonight that Guru will bring to us in
Yes.
his NASA update section. or
What-
SpaceX section or
Yeah,
whatever we want
I
to.
need like a sound effect. For
Yeah,
that,
I
like
know.
a
We've
little-
never done
little
that.
stinger or
Right,
something.
we should. Let's see.
Do
I'm
the
just
whole
trying to think
blast
down
off.
our list, but there's a lot. Of course, we'll get into some things that who knows what. I got into something this week that I want to talk about, and we probably do it before because it's not tech related, but it is tech. Well, it is tech related. I had never heard of this, but this is not new for me because I am not in the. Oh, that's a bad way to say this, but I don't know whether way. I'm not in the drug scene. I mean, I'm the furthest person. No, really, I don't really enjoy.
I know our audience is now relieved to know that.
No, what I'm getting at is you could be doing something beside me. I probably wouldn't even know what's going on.
Except for
No,
that smell?
and I might not, and I may say there's a smell, but I might not know what that is.
oh yeah,
Is what I'm getting. I just don't know.
I will say I was in it's California when you know who was with me.
Yes.
And we were walking down the street and he's like, "You smell that?" And I was like, "Yeah, something smells, funny." And he was like, "That's what weed smells like." And I was like, "Never smelled that before." So that's what that smells like.
Okay. See, but now I had never heard of juuling.
Neither have I until tonight.
I had never heard of that. And apparently there is a product, and it's made by a company, JUUL. It is a USB drive.
Let's incognito tab this.
It's like a what do you call it? What's the? It's like an e-cig, but it looks like a USB drive, and it does plug into a USB port.
No. I have seen these, but people use these for. I've seen people use these as e-cigs.
Well, the thing is, apparently you can open them up and put whatever you want in there. And the story went, as I read it, and I heard that students, and this is not new, by the way, this is like a year old, but I'm just, I try to stay up, but I missed this
Only
one.
a year
So
old.
I knew about it and didn't even realize it.
But apparently students are using these in classrooms, and they're plugging these in. They look like USB. Well, they look pretty long from what I look longer than a regular, but some are small. Some are small, like a small USB drive. They let it heat up and they'll take it to the bathroom and smoke whatever it is that has been heating.
I mean, it works just like a e-cig.
Well, it may do it. I here again, I've never been in a vape store.
But I will say my buddy that's using it, he has not had a cigarette in, I think, like 3 or 4 months now. He was doing it to quit smoking.
I understand. I just
Man, they got to refer a smoker. I could have referred him. What have I gotten for doing that?
Oh, well, anyway, that's just something that came up, and I never really heard about
Starter kit.
it. But
Smoker's hack over there.
but the thing about it is, to me, is this is just a different device. Students
Ooh.
have been trying to go under the radar of the teacher of what they're doing since the first teacher
Sure.
and student. I mean, so that's not new.
Putting a mirror on your shoe and all the answers to the questions on your
right
cap
or
and-
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Sure. I mean, I've never done that, but that sounds too complicated. I would get caught in something like that. Beyond the fact that my conscience would bother me.
You can get a starter kit that has a jewel pod, and one of the jewel pods is creme brulee.
Well, we're not advertising for it.
No, we're not. But man, that sounds delicious.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
I don't think that's the real thing. I don't think you eat it. Just smoke it or
Yeah,
inhale it or
inhale
whatever,
it.
I guess.
It tastes like creme brulee.
If you say.
Hey, this may actually be a way for people to lose weight. You have you have a hankering for some chocolate.
Oh,
Got the German chocolate cake.
It's
jewel pod.
It's already getting bad.
Mercy.
Want some lasagna?
Ah,
Give Garfield the jewel pod.
lasagna.
The lasagna jewel pod.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But yeah, I have seen these. But it's not just for nefarious use. When you said it, I thought they, before I looked it up, I was like, is that all this is for?
No, I'm sure it's not.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But yeah, I mean,
But
that's basically, it's a really thin, e-cig essentially.
Okay.
I mean, that's what it is. It's just here.
I've
if
seen
you-
it.
Okay. Not that you can see it with my privacy screen, but it's right here. Could you see
Yeah,
it?
I can't see it.
Yeah.
But I've already seen
So
it.
I mean, yeah, I could see it. Like it looks. I could see how it's not your typical looking e-cig where you can say, "Hey, that's an e-cig." It looks like a USB stick.
By the way,
I understand.
if you would like to call the show tonight and be a part of the show, it's 256-782.
5600.
Yeah, don't call this one beside me because we're
And
not.
you
gonna pick
can
it
be
up.
on the Hey Techie show, and we would love to have you.
Not
And-
your normal WLJS number.
or questions at heytechieshow.com.
Or just come up to the window and knock. And
Or you
say,
could come
"Hey,
up to
I-
Self Hall
I
to
have
the
a
window and
question-
knock.
I have a
Yeah.
question."
Yeah, that's right.
What's your question?
I don't have a question.
I just want to
So-
say hi.
Yeah, he just wants.
Hey.
I just called to say I love you. There you go.
Yeah. So, you started to bring up Movie Pass. Do we got time for that, or can we get into it
Not
after
really.
the break? Okay.
But we'll be right back.
Mhm.
Hey Techie Show, just hang on. We'll get into the stories, the meat of our stories. Hopefully, we won't run out of a few. I don't know. Hey Techie Show.
We're just getting started. Plenty more Hey Techie Show for your listening pleasure.
The skills you can develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you an edge in the high-tech job market of tomorrow. The Guard offers career training to take advantage of your skills in science, technology, engineering, and math that can help give you a leg up to a high-paying and rewarding STEM profession. Gain practical experience with emerging technology and equipment not found in the civilian world. The Army National Guard can get you started in an array of STEM-related career fields such as information technology, communication systems, special forces engineers, technical engineering, air traffic control, and chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear science. Get a head start on your career in an exciting new field while earning money to pay for college, all while serving in your own community. Log on to NationalGuard.com or talk to a recruiter in your area to learn about all of the STEM career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is an Alabama legacy moment.
The 375,000 acres that make up the 3 ranger districts of Talladega National Forest were purchased by the federal government in 1936 as part of an effort to restore clear-cut timberlands and farmlands no longer capable of producing crops. The beautiful reserve includes the 102-mile Pinhoti National Trail System and Alabama's highest and second highest points, Mount Cheaha and Duggar Mountain.
Sponsored by the Alabama Bicentennial Commission.
When
the
a child
ABA,
plays
and the
with
station.
blocks, the skills of a future engineer, rocket scientist, contractor, and architect are developing. A child on the playground is practicing the skills of a future athlete. When a child creates art, the skills of a future illustrator, author, and artist are being discovered. In a first-class pre-K classroom, children do all these things and discover a lifetime love of learning. For more information on pre-K, go to children.alabama.gov or just Google pre-K in Alabama. Sponsored by Alabama Department of Early Childhood Education, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Do you have a product, service, event, or just about anything to promote, but you have always assumed it was just too expensive? Then listen up. It's not. Here at WLGS, we have every patron spot available with a pricing plan that is sure to fit any budget. Just think your very own patron announcement with the potential to reach thousands. There are a few restrictions, but let us worry about that. Email us at questions@heytechieshow.com. That's questions@heytechieshow.com. Welcome back into the Hey Techie Show.
So, Mikey, you know I like video games.
Sure.
And I admittedly don't get to play as much as I would like to or used to. And I was really upset the other day whenever I was talking to my cousin. I was like, you know what? I was like, we need to play Super Smash Brothers. You know, because I got the Switch. Love my Switch. It's going on with me. With me
Super
on
Smash Brothers.
And so I was like, let's see if I can just go ahead and get this. Nah, it's not out till December 7th.
Oh.
So I was a little upset.
Is this a brand new game, I assume?
Well, it will be.
Oh, okay. So do they have an old version?
Oh, yeah, man. You've never played Super? God, you're missing out.
Look who you're talking
I haven't either.
to.
You have a son and a daughter that are young enough to have played that.
No,
they're like,
well, they have.
Let's
Let's see. We have,
and it's great because you can just mash buttons.
Let's say we have PlayStations.
Oh, all right. Well, anyways,
I don't have a Switch.
Well,
I have
you had a Wii at one point, didn't you?
Yeah, I think they do have.
See,
a
it was
Wii
on the
somewhere.
Wii.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Pretty
even think that Wii's been turned on. That
Well-
that Wii is off.
Yeah. But anyways, I just figured I'd share that. If in case you were wondering, if you were just like maybe like, you know, they talked about that. There's a lot of big news about that. What was the date on that again? It's a while, so don't even get looking for
So
it.
December
7th, I think,
17th.
is-
So just in time for Christmas.
Just in time. I'm pretty sure that was the date. I just remember seeing December and was like, well, I guess I'm not getting that right now. And I was like, I wonder if he'd play
Now, what was that game called?
Super Smash Brothers.
Brothers.
Yeah.
And
Yep. December 7th.
And
Ultimate, by the way, on the end of that.
oh, it's Ultimate.
Yeah, Ultimate.
So the question I have for this, what is this game involved? I mean, what is the idea of the game? What is the
Think of like all the Bandai and Nintendo characters, like Battle Royale.
so
just
you're
a
like in
fighting
this
game.
this large world that you all
No, stages.
Oh,
You have-
stages.
yeah, you have stages.
See, you know I don't know that. You know I'm not a gamer.
it's
I'm
so much-
sorry.
Everybody out there just rolling their eyes at you.
Well, good. That's fine. I will not be.
Oh gosh, how does he not know about this?
I'm with Michael.
46.
I have no
Oh
idea.
man, y'all need to play it.
I'm the old man. Get off my porch. Get off my lawn.
Yep. So
Get that game out of my lawn.
But anyways, so thinking about Mario Tennis Aces and seeing about maybe picking that up. So if you've played that and you like it, let
Yeah.
me know how it is. 256-782-5600. And it is out. I have checked.
What is out?
Mario Tennis Aces.
Oh, Mario's out.
Yeah.
Bruce's game update.
Yeah. But we were talking about
Movie Pass.
Movie Pass. I was about to say Movie Crush, but that's a podcast. Was it Movie Pass?
Yes. Okay. We're
Movie
talking
Crush,
about Movie Pass.
Movie Pass. So you called it what, year ago, maybe?
No, it hasn't been that long ago.
I feel like it was a year ago.
It was like 4 weeks ago. It was less than 4 weeks. It was about 3 weeks ago. It wasn't. It could,
Oh no. I'm talking about when we originally talked about it. You're like, there's no way this is gonna last.
not a year ago. It's maybe
No, because I feel like
a month ago.
Ted tried. No, it's been a long time ago that we talked about this.
Well, okay. Maybe you're right. I've forgotten. It is possible that we did, and I forgot. So, but anyway, nonetheless. Well, I don't know about making it. I just don't. I just didn't think the whole. I mean, I didn't realize this. They've been going since 2011. The Movie Pass apparently has been going since 2011, according to an article, and basically that at one time was $50 a month.
Yeah,
And then in August of 2017, they did their current.
and we talked about it back in August.
Well, we may have, and you're probably right.
2017.
Yeah, you're probably.
And you're
right.
like, there's no way this is gonna last.
Yeah, I just didn't think it would. I thought we talked about it recently.
And Ted,
It's been recent.
Ted
And
we have talked about it recently.
and that $10 a month price tag, it's just too good of a deal to be true.
It really is. I mean, if you go to the movies once, it's paid for.
I thought that was an easy guess on that one. I just really did. I didn't think.
And some movie theaters, like going once, you've made money or saved money, whichever way you look at it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. I mean, I think that's the point.
Yeah, but now their business model.
Well,
Well,
we're all kind of the same.
well, really, I mean, I don't.
This is
What
one of
more
those
can,
days.
you know? What more can you say other than
But
this
it-
was predictable?
but
I'm sorry.
at
It's
some point in the
predictable.
past, you said before we came on the air that they were, or maybe earlier today, you told me that they were charging $50 a month.
That's what I just said.
Oh, you just say that?
I just got it out of my
You're
mouth.
too busy reading something else.
I got
You're
too much
looking
going
down.
on.
No,
but
I think he was.
at the $50 a month, that's a little pricey. And it seems to me, this is just me. I have no knowledge of or facts to back this up. This is what my thinking is. They went to $10 trying to get a bunch of people to start using it because they thought if they take the Walmart model, I kind of screamed in the mic. I'm sorry. Take
He's
the
excited
Walmart
about
model
Walmart.
of stack it high, price it low, volume. By we make money off volume.
Yeah.
Well, obviously
Sure.
that's not working because now what's it going to? How much is it going to now? 15 a month, or is it?
Well, yeah, but when you're making,
Oh, is it
when-
going up?
Listen to me.
Oh, we talked about that yet?
Listen to me. When you're making money, when you're making a profit off volume, yes, but you're still per unit. You're still under the
Yeah.
cost a little bit. You might not.
It's
be,
like I could have
We don't know that. We don't know what their
10,000
cost is.
I could have 10,000
A movie?
CDs
Well, but
and
here's
sell them for a nickel a piece.
right,
because
But if my cost on them is still $10 a CD,
right.
No,
You're going to
hang
be
on.
losing.
Yeah, I'm
here's
losing
the
money.
thing. They were charging $9.95 a month, were until recently, or about to go up. I guarantee you, whatever the going rate is at the theaters, that Movie Pass was not paying that rate. They were getting some sort of a discounted rate that they were actually
But
that they were
not e-
paying out to the movie theaters
But
when people would use their Movie Pass. But I think part of their strategy probably was we're going to hope people will pay for this and not use it
well,
that
yeah.
much.
I mean, that is the strategy.
Because they're only going to pay out when somebody actually goes to the movies. But obviously, the people who were subscribing to this were like, "Oh yeah, buddy, we're going to use it."
I got you one better than this. They say it's going to go up to $14.95 a month. That's still ridiculous. There's no way if you went to 3 movies.
Well, they
in-
have a $7.95 a month, and that gives you 3 movies per month. How?
How?
I just wonder what the rate they're offering
How?
I just wonder what the rate they're getting to having to pay for these movies. It must be ridiculously low. Or
But
they're-
see, I don't see how it would be. I
But-
mean, even if they made a deal.
but even with this Movie Pass, aren't they also like there's restrictions now going to be where certain movies
you can't. And I think at the time
Different
I was like, well, they would
time and
have to.
stuff like that.
They would have to have some restrictions. New movies, you wouldn't be able to. I mean, I don't know. It just all seems too good to believe, in my opinion.
And here's the quote from
And last week,
the quote from the CEO: "These changes are meant to project the longevity of our company and to prevent abuse of the service. Abuse is all you can consume.
what could be abuse?
It's all the movies you can watch for this price. What's abuse of
Yeah,
that?
in fact, on
if you want to
their
go,
site,
if you want to go every day,
Movie Pass Plus, which is $9.95 a month, it says enjoy a new movie every day. Cancel anytime.
abuse.
So I can't abuse it if I'm
No.
only allowed a movie a day.
That's correct.
Yeah, like it won't let you. You can't
I
just go
can't
watch.
go and say, yeah, I can't go be like, well, give me 2. I'll take 2.
I'm gonna watch a matinee and then I'm gonna watch one later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I'm only allowed 1 a day. How is
Yeah.
that abuse?
I mean, they've got restrictions in place.
Yeah, but
Get started. First name, Michael.
no. Call Ixnay on that.
Oh, I know your birthday.
But apparently the company last week, they ran out of money.
And had to borrow some quick
$5 million.
to stay afloat.
But
Why? Why? I'm gonna pour more water on this sinking
Yeah,
ship.
I mean, I think you're going to have to borrow it again.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that this did
because it was a very
I don't even-
short term.
I don't even think
loan. Like,
right. I don't even think they put the fingers in the dock. I think the docks are still
Yeah.
got the water's still coming out.
They're just trying to
They
keep the
don't even
doors
have the
open.
hole. Yeah,
I don't.
they don't
yeah.
even have the holes plugged yet.
They're just trying to keep the doors open.
I
at
mean,
this
I
point.
would like to know, people, our listeners, if you have Movie Pass, what's your
Yeah.
experience been?
Yeah, call in.
If I didn't have a family that I had to take with me every time I went to the movies, I could totally see doing this.
Okay,
Or if it was just you and your significant other.
Guru, we can run the numbers. They say they have currently 3 million members at $10 a pop a month, right? Monthly fee.
So that's 30.
Yeah,
It's $30 million.
a month.
Okay. And how much do they pay out a month?
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
needed 5 million to get by
Well,
So-
they had to pay. They
$35
couldn't make
million
payroll.
that month.
in a year. Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying to get
Yeah, I
by,
know,
they
30
had to take
yeah.
out an extra five.
Right.
That'll get us to the break even point.
Yeah, but they're gonna.
I just don't understand it.
Nah, me neither. But that's okay. But so $14.95 is going up to. I mean, that's the news.
Maybe they're smoking a little too
Well,
much of those jewels.
Yeah, maybe they got the jewel. Maybe they're smoking the jewel, or hoping other people just pay and smoke the jewel. I don't know.
Well, here's something I think we can understand. I had this on last week. We didn't get to it, but if you remember, long listeners of the show, at some point in the last couple months, while we were on air in the middle of doing something, my laptop restarted. My Windows 10 laptop just rebooted, and I made a mention on there. I don't think you were here, Bruce, but I said my PC's restarting. You remember that, Michael?
Yes.
You know, and I think a lot of us have suffered that. You know, our PC's restarting on its own, even when you're like sitting in front of it. You know, it's supposed to. You know, you can set times where it's, you know, you're
Inactive.
you set your active hours, and it says it'll only restart during hours outside of the active hours. Anyway,
Instead, it's like, oh, are you doing something? Hold on.
but here's the thing. This is an article. This is from late July, so it's about a week or so old. But Windows 10 now uses machine learning to stop updates from installing when a PC is in use. I could have used this a couple months ago. So apparently I'm not the only one that's suffering from this frustration. And, you know, Microsoft, you know, to give them a little bit of defense here, you know, trying to get these updates, especially the security updates on these PCs. And I mean, I can kind of somewhat understand why they're trying to not give you a choice to put the updates on. But Microsoft is aware of the issues, and they said in a statement, quote, "We heard you, and we heard you, and to alleviate the pain, if you have an update pending, we've updated our reboot logic to use a new system that is more adaptive and proactive." Microsoft says it has trained a predictive model that will accurately predict when the best time to restart the device is, thanks to machine learning.
Oh, man.
Another quote from Microsoft: "We will not only check if you're currently using a device before we restart, but we will also try to predict if you had just left your device to grab a cup of coffee and will return shortly after."
Microsoft. No means no.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's.
Do you want to start right here? No.
You beat me to it.
Yeah.
I mean, why do we have to teach this stupid PC machine learning just to tell it you don't want it to reboot right now?
They've been testing the model internally and says it has seen, quote, promising results, end quote. The software maker has been updating the model continuously as it is cloud-based, and that's now coming up to Windows insiders to get an additional feedback and testing.
I need to go program for Microsoft.
Windows 10 testers will start seeing the updated model.
I don't know what they pay, but
Windows 10 testers will start seeing the updated model in the latest Redstone 5 and 19H1 updates.
I don't know about cloud-based. It sounds like it's not intelligent-based. I mean, I'm sorry.
So what you're saying is I can go ahead and restart now?
I will say this.
What do you mean no?
Not to try to dig into Microsoft. And
I'm not really doing that.
And probably Andrew, our listener Andrew, probably will not like what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. On Mac OS, it'll pop up a little thing over in the corner. You know, updates are available. Do you want to restart or not now? If you do not now, it'll say like try again in an hour, or try to not,
Prompt, yeah.
or remind me later.
Right.
So
Oh, yeah.
I've done that on my Mac at home, like for a long period. I won't say how long on air. Say, remind me
Too
tomorrow.
long.
Remind me tomorrow. Remind me tomorrow. Because if you got
3
stuff pulled
days.
up, you don't want to have to shut everything down.
Well, but Microsoft, it doesn't really worry about those kind
No,
of
they don't.
human condition problems. It just restarts despite whether you have something
Yeah,
up.
that's-
I mean, it's like, okay, well, you'll get over it. It'll come back up. I mean, you'll need me, so I've got to restart. I'm fixing things that need fixing right now.
Just a moment. Everything's right where you left it.
Yeah.
And another
Except for that thing you're looking
Except
for.
for
and
that thing.
I can understand that be a default behavior, but it is extremely difficult to turn it off. You have to go to extreme lengths, and it still may not work.
I think the default behavior,
But they should give you. It should be an easy choice. Do I want to automatically install and
I
reboot?
think-
Yes or no?
I think the default behavior would be a better UI that comes up and says, how would you like updates to install?
Never.
And explain, well,
No, you can't say that.
well, I mean, and
Shouldn't say that.
and explain what the actual, in regular non-PC literate terms, what the consequences would be for each selection. Okay. Or could be, rather. That's what I'm saying. It needs to be they could do that. But have you set up a Windows PC recently?
No,
Okay.
not
but
recently.
you've done a Windows 10 where there's got all those little switches you can turn off of this, that, and the other. Have you ever sat there and read all that? I mean,
I just turn them all off.
right, me too. I mostly turn them off, and people are, but you don't get this and you don't get that.
You don't need it.
Well, but you probably still do get it, because I'm not sure whether turning that stuff off does diddly squat.
It could just be a little switch they put in with no
yeah,
logic
right.
behind
It
it.
just makes you feel good.
I'm sick and tired of disabling Cortana.
Yeah, that's frustrating. I mean, if you that's
Every
another
major
thing.
release that they put out, it's like I disabled all this.
Right,
for a
I don't
reason.
want Cortana. I mean, if you don't want it, you don't want it.
I don't want it.
Yeah, well, anyway, that's
Well,
been. I have plenty of
period.
gripes for that.
Well, let's talk while we're on the gripe train. Let's bring up another one, and we equal time here. You know, we pick on the Apple side of the house. This is equally, if not more. Yeah, Andrew, you're welcome for that statement. Anyway, so this is again from a couple weeks ago. We didn't get to it, but as we've said on the show, I think before, these MacBook Pros that Apple sells the last several years, you know, they are not upgradable. Like whatever you want, you better get it when you buy it, or you're done, because they solder the memory to the
Yes.
motherboard. They solder, you know, everything. You can't upgrade. It's not upgradable. Like if you thinking you may want to get a bigger hard drive, you better go ahead and get it.
right, and they've been doing that for a while.
And that does cause the hard drive in particular causes some frustrations, because like if the hard drive dies, or let's say not necessarily the hard drive, let's say the what I think Apple calls the logic board, the motherboard, it fails, but your hard drive's attached to the logic board, soldered, and you can't just easily pull your data off. Well, in the past, Apple has built into their logic board or into the inside of the computer like a special service port
Correct.
that Apple technicians were able to hook that, you know, logic board with your hard drive attached to another Mac and basically offload your data.
They were basically making it a target.
Yeah,
like a target drive.
exactly.
basically.
But they had like
They have a little black device that does it.
exactly. So they could help you get your data off if you had to, you know, replace your Mac or whatever. If the Mac would not boot
Right,
itself, because you
right.
know, if you have a Mac and you're buying a new one, you can bring it up in the target this mode if it's functioning. But if the logic board's not working, you can't. Anyway, these new MacBooks that came out recently, that little port's gone.
Right. Reportedly, that little product that connected these two is broken. They did it on purpose. It's not there.
Yeah. This article from Mac Rumors kind of goes into all that I just described. But last week, this is probably a few weeks ago, iFixit completed a teardown of the 2018 MacBook Pro, discovering that Apple has removed the data recovery connectors, what they call that,
Right.
from the logic board on both the 13-inch and the 15-inch models with Touch Bar, suggesting that customer data migration tool, that's that little service device they use can no longer be connected.
I know somebody who just got a June 2018
Oh, really?
MacBook. Yes,
Nice.
15-inch,
15-inch. Nice.
a little over $2,600.
Wow.
Yeah.
But multiple sources claim that data cannot be recovered if the logic board has failed on a 2018 MacBook Pro. If the notebook is still functioning, data can be transferred, to another Mac by booting a target disk mode, like we just said, using Migration Assistant. So if you get one of these new MacBook Pros, just be aware of that and make sure you've got your data backed up. Because if the logic board goes, you're done.
Yeah.
Your data's gone. It might as well, the SSD might as well have failed too.
Right. That's true. Because you're not getting it back.
No, you're not getting it back. You're done.
But we've been saying things are going like this for a while.
I know.
We've been talking about this, but you need to be backing up your data anyway.
This is just another reminder to please back your data up. If it's just as simple as buying an external hard drive, plugging it in using Time Machine on a Mac, that's not really the best way. That's I think one of many levels.
Correct. Right.
We've minimize the loss.
Yeah, we've talked about this on the show before about backup.
We beat it into the ground, and most any tech show that's worth its salt's going to do that.
Yes, absolutely. And even if you're a PC user, there's a built Windows.
Yeah,
10,
especially
Windows 10 has a built-in backup mechanism in the control panel settings that you can do the same thing. You hook up a hard drive and it'll back up and take snapshots. That's better than nothing. But I think you need something offsite because you never know from a natural disaster.
Sure. In an ideal world.
Yeah.
What is that?
You got to back it up to get it back.
By the way, I just ran across this as the show was starting, and I did not. Admittedly, I've been under a rock. Apparently, it's called work, and I did not realize this. And I was talking to Bruce about this. Apparently, Reddit has had a hack, and they have said that apparently
I saw that this morning.
It's a discovered data breach in June.
Yep.
And let's see, there is some employees' accounts. Compromise some employee accounts.
It just compromise employees only?
Well, that's what it says.
Okay.
Now, the thing that's interesting is that they had these accounts protected with SMS-based two-factor authentication. So they had to get the password, and they also had to intercept and
that two-factor.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the TLDR, straight from Reddit, a hacker broke into a few of Reddit's systems and managed that's hard to pronounce, systems, and managed to access some user data, including some current email addresses and a 2007 database backup containing old salted and hashed passwords. Since then, we've been conducting a painstaking investigation, I know what they mean, to figure out just what was accessed and to improve our system and processes to prevent this from happening again.
They really didn't say if there's customer data. Sounds like potentially there's some customer data.
Yeah. It's a
old 2007 database.
Some user data, and they're going to contact
2007 data, but somebody just had that scrolled away just in case.
Well, I mean,
from 11 years ago,
somebody's probably still using some of those passwords as things go.
But they were salted and hashed.
They were salted and hashed. Yeah. I mean, you would have to.
It would take quite some effort,
right?
So the two-factor authentication, which, they've at least a year ago, we said that SMS-based two-factor is not very strong.
That's right.
And that's what happened. Is that apparently
wasn't
the main attack was via SMS intercept.
There's such
I don't have an account. I just looked, so I wasn't worried about.
Well, I thought of you when I heard about that this morning. I was like, oh,
I think I do have.
I am a heavy Reddit user with no Reddit account.
Well, I'm the same.
That's shocking.
I get on Reddit a little bit, but I don't have an account.
So
I can't comment.
The thing called a SIM swap.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of what they do to do these hijacks, especially in a cell phone. And I know somebody who thinks he's being done that way.
Ooh.
And well, no, he thinks it because
I told you not to tell anybody that.
he thinks it because he's gotten a message from Facebook saying that his 2-factor was turned off in his account. It was very odd, and he still is not, but he thinks it's some kind of phishing scam.
Maybe.
But
Probably
anyway,
is.
I think I know who it is.
yeah. But anyway, yeah. I don't do names.
Well-
I forget names.
Well, we're not going to do names.
I
on the
forget
air.
names as soon
Do
as
them
I
off
hear
the
them.
air.
Yeah. So since you mentioned 2-factor, it kind of segues into this real quickly. I know we're about to go to break, but did you see where Duo was bought by, or is going to be? Cisco wants to buy Duo. That's what I should say.
That's correct.
They plan to buy Duo, and for those who don't know, Duo is they do 2-factor authentication.
Right. They do, and very good.
And it's widely implemented. I mean, across a lot of industries, probably
It
all
is.
industries.
Yeah, I that article, I've got it right here. And I have read some of it. I need to see. I wanted to see. Do you know what a unicorn? Not the animal, but in regards to this, a unicorn company.
No.
Okay, I didn't know. I didn't really know this, and I should have known this. It is a startup that has over $1 billion in equity, basically.
Pretty good startup.
Yeah, they started up and I think it was Michigan. Maybe they started in Michigan. Let's see, where's that at? Yeah, from Ann Arbor. Duo started in Ann Arbor. Was founded in 2010.
They've been around.
Hey, they say that it has about a workforce of 700.
How much is Cisco want? How much is the selling price? I didn't see
Let's
that.
see. Oh, they want 2.35 billion to offer for it.
A lot of money.
So that's so a unicorn is a technology startup, and they have to be have value of more than a valuation of more than $1 billion to be considered.
So is this related to Duo?
Yeah, Duo is a unicorn startup.
Oh,
they were a
okay,
startup,
okay.
and now they're
I
called
missed
a
that.
unicorn startup because they have a valuation of over $1 billion.
Well,
So
I
they were
think-
basically started from
Yeah.
just money from a startup.
Okay.
A technology
And
startup.
now Cisco's going to buy them for over $2 billion.
Well, no, 2.35.
Oh, 2.35. Don't forget the 0.35.
Yeah, don't forget the 35. I mean,
That's
come
right.
on,
That's important. That's
like
that's Tim Cook's pocket
that's what I was
change.
gonna say. Dang, yeah, that's like Tim Cook pocket change right
Tim
there,
Cook's,
man. He just pulled it out of his.
that's his Coke money. He goes to buy a Coke or Pepsi or whatever.
Absolutely,
His favorite
just on the
beverage.
weekends.
That's right. Duo's a good product. I mean, it's for 2-factor. I think it's one of the best.
Now, here's
in
the
my
thing:
opinion.
they say, according to this article, they say the firm's products are in use by some 10,000 customers worldwide. Now, they're not relaying that to users. They're saying, I assume they're saying,
So like if XYZ company uses Duo for their workforce,
but they're calling that a customer.
That's a customer.
I believe that's what it's meaning.
Yeah. It's a lot more users. It's just
What's got to be.
If you own a company, you want 2-factor and you buy Duo, you're one customer to Duo.
Correct. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
And you ignored that whole security talk, which is really odd.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I was looking at other security stuff. Sorry.
He's just trying to see how much Duo is going to cost him. Hey, Techie Show. Be right back.
Don't go anywhere. There's more in the queue lined up just for you.
An Alabama legacy moment.
Cheaha Mountain, often called Mount Cheaha, is the highest natural point in Alabama at 2,407 feet above sea level. It is located in north central Alabama in Cheaha State Park, surrounded by the Talladega National Forest in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. This dramatic landscape gets its name from the Creek Indian name for the mountain, Chaha, meaning high place.
Sponsored by the Alabama Bicentennial Commission, the ABA, and this
When a
station.
child plays with blocks, the skills of a future engineer, rocket scientist, contractor, and architect are developing. When a child expresses himself with colors, paint, and clay, The skills of a future illustrator, author, and artist are being discovered. A child on the playground is developing the skills of a future athlete. When a child is involved in dramatic play, she's learning the skills of a future doctor, nurse, and veterinarian. In Science Center investigations, a young child practices the skills of a future horticulturist, inventor, and archaeologist. During circle time sharing, the skills of a future teacher, lawyer, and journalist are being explored. A child reading a story in the library is honing the skills of a future librarian, teacher, researcher, and writer. Future stars are born in the classroom's music center. In a first-class pre-K classroom, children do all these things, and in the meantime, they discover a lifetime love of learning. For more information, go to children.alabama.gov. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Early Childhood Education, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
This is an Alabama legacy moment.
In the late 1960s, NASCAR founder Bill France was hunting for a location for a new racetrack that would rival the size and speed of Daytona. Eventually, he settled on an abandoned airfield near Talladega, Alabama, and started construction on May 23, 1968. Hello, I'm Bobby Allison, NASCAR 1983 Cup champion and four-time winner here at Talladega Superspeedway, as it was renamed in 1989. With 33-degree bank turns and 2.66 miles of asphalt, it's the fastest racetrack in the nation. Bill Elliott set the existing NASCAR speed record here in 1987. Every driver that's run at Talladega has had a wild ride or two. My final win here was over Dale Earnhardt by a fraction of a second. You never know who's going to make it the full 500 miles, and that's what makes Talladega one of the most exciting racetracks in the world.
Sponsored by the Alabama Bicentennial Commission, the ABA, and this station.
You're listening to the Hey Techies Show on WLJS Jacksonville.
Welcome back into the Hey Techie Show. You know, school's about to start back.
What does that mean, Bruce? Oh man, you just reminded me of something. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I wanted to talk about it on the show. So school's starting back. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to talk about
and all parents say, "Yay!"
I don't.
All teachers
I'm
say, "Boo!"
I'm the opposite. I do not.
And
homework.
If this was France,
see, that's all the parents.
No, not me.
Except Michael.
Yeah.
The country of France is banning smartphones in schools.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
No smartphones allowed. They can have them. They'll make exceptions for after school activities.
Okay.
But other than that, they have to either remain at home or remain off, and in I guess their lockers.
Okay.
They did not state what the penalty would be if they had a phone, but they, as far as across the schools, they are across the country, they are completely banning them.
Across the whole country.
Across the whole country.
Because they don't have individual Bill of Rights. They can do that.
Yeah. Well,
their citizens have no individual Bill of Rights like over here in the United States.
Sure. But
that's the reason.
I'm wondering how long it's going to take for America to catch on.
You think that's a good idea?
To ban smartphones in schools?
Yeah.
I'm
talking about nationwide.
Nationwide?
From a federal level.
It won't happen at the federal level.
I think it's a terrible
idea. It
idea.
won't happen at the federal level, yeah.
It's a terrible idea.
Now, do they cause a distraction? Yes.
Absolutely.
But I will say this.
I'll tell you what the problem is.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Sure.
Some of these school systems that don't have the resources to have devices for students in the classroom, that may be their only device.
But
if they do a BYOD type of
I
environment?
can't see that can be much learning. I don't agree with that.
But you've got to use the technology correctly. We've talked about that on the show before.
Yeah, I know.
Just having it is a tick a box off. Is
He's
not
stirring
the
the
answer.
He's stirring my pot. I can tell you that right now. And I don't mean the kind you put in that device and smoke.
Not to go in the jewel, huh?
No. You're killing me. You're killing me.
I think the problem's with the parents.
Well, there's no question. I mean, I totally
why are
agree
you
with
buying your kid a smartphone? And
Yeah.
then why aren't you? Then
I mean, I'm,
I just remember whenever I was going through school, if you had a phone, and there weren't smartphones then, it was just a phone, period. Or say if you brought your Game Boy, you brought anything electronic like that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you took it out in class.
Oh, yeah. You didn't.
You were done.
Yeah, you were not
And
getting it
I
back
don't-
until your
and
parent
that's
came and
where it
got
should be handled. I agree. I don't have a problem.
But the problem is, you'll get parents today that if I were a teacher and I said, "Give me that phone," you can tell your mom to come up here and get it. The mom would come up there and bless you out for taking it away.
So I agree. Here is my actual problem.
Then you're both suspended.
I mean, this boat is sailed, and you can say that we used to handle things differently years ago, and that's true. But this ship is sailed, and it's not coming back to dock, I don't think. But not every parents are different. I got that. And I agree with that. Here's my thing.
Glad you agree that people are different.
They are. But my point is, this is my thing with this. Let's say your student is a driver. They drive their car.
Sure.
They drive their vehicle.
Okay.
Let's say that the student is a young lady.
Okay.
Young lady usually contacts mom and dad before they leave school.
Sure.
And contacts them when they get to wherever they go. And you may say that's helicopter parent. I got it. But we don't live in the same day and age that I did in 1990.
Okay.
We just don't.
All right.
So my point is this. Unlikely, this is the odds are not great on this, but it could happen.
Okay.
The student has an accident or gets involved in a situation where that student needs to call somebody, but is not able to for whatever reason, runs off the ditch. I mean, I can think of a lot of areas where you might not have someone that'll help you.
All right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
They can't call. The phone's taken up at the school. And there's
I see what you're saying. I thought I was like, how does this ban prevent?
Well, because this happened to me. This happened to my son. I didn't know my son's phone got taken up. We didn't even know until we got to the ball game. Didn't even know. I should have got a call already.
You should have. The school should have called you.
That whole thing was ridiculous. I told them it was ridiculous. But I had no idea that had happened, and found out from my son after we got to the ball game. I'm like, what if we kept calling you? We'd be worried.
Yeah.
We wouldn't know anything was going on.
So I think they should have contacted you whenever there was a problem. Sure.
But I'm not saying that I think that the phone is good in the school. I actually don't think it is.
I get what you're saying.
I don't necessarily agree with it.
I'm sure you said to them, thank you for taking up his phone, making sure he was paying attention.
But it was the policy I disagree with. They should get it back at the end of the day. That's the policy. It's not I pay for the phone.
Yeah, they should get it back at the end of the day.
Because it needs to go home
or they need to call you and say, hey, we need you to come get your device. That way you're aware of it.
But it's not.
I'm with Michael on this.
It doesn't belong to they don't pay the bill. It's not their property.
But they could have called you and said, hey, you need to come get this. And you could have said, well, I cannot come get it. Release it to my child at the end of the day.
Yes. Because
that way they know that you know that they got in trouble, and not saying, here's the phone back and take this note and have your mom and dad sign it. Where they're just going to say, scribble, scribble, scribble. And they knew it. They were fine with it.
Yeah, I agree with that. But back to your point.
Called you. Because if your kid has a phone, you sure better.
If you've decided as a parent to give your child a phone so you can stay in contact with them, there's an expectation there that they will have it.
Sure.
And if they get in trouble at school, then I think the school should take action because your child needs to be paying attention and learning. But yeah, they need to let you know, hey, this is what we've done.
I agree with that part.
How do you want to come get this? How do you want us to handle this in terms of getting this back? We can give it to you or what? And
you can either come up here and get it, or we can give it to them back
at the end of the day.
Give it back to them at the end of the day. But if he's caught with it again, or she's caught with it again, then these are
absolutely, because there's
penalties.
They need to follow the rules, but they need to have it for
that's a paddle
after. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to carry this on in because I do have a second thing here because we're going into school, like you said.
Yeah.
It's a good article, by the way. I'm glad you brought it up.
You're welcome.
We do Jacksonville. We talked about this before, but Jacksonville has this thing they call 1-to-1, 1-to-world. Sorry, pardon me, 1-to-world. And we do Chromebooks for the.
They were doing iPads, weren't they?
Yeah, they were, but they're doing Chromebooks from 7th on up.
A glorified web browser, in my opinion.
Well, actually, I mean, I do. Well, we talked about this show, but
that's what they were using the iPad for.
Yeah, that's true too.
At least it has a keyboard.
That's what I'm saying.
What the Chromebook?
The Chromebook does.
Yeah, the Chromebook has a keyboard. Yeah,
it has one little bit extra.
Yeah, Google now every student there is now the product of Google.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
wait a minute.
They were apples.
There's some people that are not the product of Google. I had no idea.
Yeah,
I thought they were on everything.
There's some that use the Bing browser exclusively.
Yeah,
and they're owned by Microsoft.
Yeah, those that have Microsoft phones.
Yes, those
still
two.
Windows phones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never understand them.
Well, our is coming up quickly.
That was almost in unison.
Yeah, it almost was. It's coming up quickly. And we've still got a good bit to cover. We still got to bring Google back up, as a matter of fact.
I've got some Amazon news as well.
Yeah, we've got that. That's
We've
true.
got all the bases covered.
Yeah.
Maybe more video games.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure you'll come up with a video game.
No video games. No video games.
Hey, Techies Show. Be right back.
You've listened this long, so stick around for our dose.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Jack Speer. A battle royale broke out late today over a Republican plan the Democrats say skirts provisions of the Presidential Records Act in order to speed confirmation of Judge Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court by early October. NPR's Nina Totenberg has more.
The National Archives has notified the Senate Judiciary Committee that it will be October before it's able to finish even part of its review of Kavanaugh's records while he served in the George W. Bush White House. While Republican leaders said they still plan to go ahead with September hearings on the Kavanaugh nomination, Democrats accused the GOP of a scheme to get around the presidential records law, a law that requires career archivists to screen documents for privileged or classified material. Instead, under the current plan, private lawyers representing President Bush will do the screening, and some of those lawyers also represent top current and former Trump administration officials in the Russia investigation. Nina Totenberg, NPR News, Washington.
About 200 anti-violence protesters shut down a major highway in Chicago today. They're taking their protest to another Chicago landmark. Reporter Michael Puente from member station WBEZ has more.
Protesters are upset over a lack of resources in combating gun violence in Chicago's impoverished South and West Sides. That's why organizers say they took to the streets on the city's affluent North Side for shutting down a portion of busy Lakeshore Drive to traffic for about an hour. Then they marched to the iconic Wrigley Field, home to the Chicago Cubs, where fans watched as speakers decried inequities in city resources. Organizers are calling for the city's mayor, Rahm Emanuel, and its police superintendent to resign. For NPR News, I'm Michael Puente in Chicago.
Attorneys general from 19 states in the District of Columbia are challenging efforts by the Trump administration to roll back Obama-era vehicle mileage and emissions standards. The administration has argued against upping vehicle mileage standards to the proposed levels, saying that heavier vehicles, which get worse gas mileage, are safer. Logic California Attorney General Javier Becerra called ridiculous on its face.
We want cars to be more efficient. It's insane to think that it is good for families to make cars less efficient.
The auto industry had pushed back against the tougher standards, saying it would push up the cost of vehicles. The Trump administration says it wants to freeze mileage standards at 2020 levels. Device maker Apple has hit a major milestone, the company behind iPhones, iPads, and Macs, becoming the first publicly traded company ever to be valued at more than $1 trillion. Apple shares rose more than 2.5% today. Apple is viewed as a stunning turnaround company. At one point in 1997, Apple was teetering on the brink of bankruptcy. On Wall Street today, the Dow was down 7 points. This is NPR.
Technologic.
Use it, break it, fix it, trash it, change it, melt, upgrade it, charge it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it, quick erase it, write it, cut it, paste it, save it, load it, check it, quick rewrite it, plug it, play it, turn it, rip it, drag it, drop it, zip and zip it, lock it, fill it, call it, find it, view it, code it, jump and lock it, surf it, scroll it, close it, click it, cross it, crack it, switch, update it, name it, read it,
Welcome back. Welcome into the Hey Techie Show. Our dose. I've got to eventually stop messing you up.
Nah, just keep going.
Or we'll just never have an intro.
We'll just keep playing the music.
I don't think
till
we
it
have
ends.
one. I don't think we have one now. So might as well just keep going.
We just keep playing the Our Dose intro.
Yeah, we can just, I was gonna say we can just play that song for another hour.
Sure, why not?
How long is that? It's 2 minutes and 57 seconds. We just keep on playing it.
Just loop it.
That's right.
Sure. Why not?
So before we move on,
at some point I forgot to do this in the break, and I hate that I'm saying it now. You have to give me that story. I don't have that.
Oh, I just made it up.
The French, you made it. Well, that would
This
be
is not
easy
the
to
rumor.
do,
This is not the
actually.
rumor segment.
I will get you that story momentarily.
So you were saying before we move on?
Yeah, before we move on, you were wanting to talk more about school.
Pardon me. Back to our discussion of Chromebook.
Oh yeah. You were saying for school that Jacksonville over here is using Chromebooks.
Okay. Let's say your school's not using Chromebooks.
Okay.
Let's say your school's not using anything really.
Man.
Okay.
They're on the forefront of education.
Yeah. Well, that may be.
Well, what if it's bring your own device at that school?
Yeah, I know. Would you seriously consider a Chromebook for your student? Like, would that be? I mean, because you can get some that are not that expensive.
What am I trying to accomplish?
Well,
what? Oh.
Well, I don't know what you're trying to accomplish exactly, other than the fact that you would want to be able to allow your student to fill out information, do Word. I use Word, but do documents, do presentations.
Sure.
It would be a less expensive.
Yeah, I mean Chrome
than
Chromebook
actual Windows based. But I read about, speaking of that new product, the Surface Go, I think it is. They're saying, they're saying that gold chip is not very good. They say it's very low power. That gold chip on that new Surface Go.
Oh,
they say that
the Intel,
the Intel Gold. They say it's not all it's cracked up.
It's
to
gold.
Be. Well,
I'll be honest.
It's got to be platinum.
You don't know a lot
right?
about it.
Yeah, because I was like, no, I'm buying.
But
yeah, I know.
But I will chime in real quick on this. Are we still talking about the Chromebook?
Yes.
Chromebook, yeah. I would not buy one for my students.
Okay.
Why?
I just don't think it's kind of a play laptop, in my opinion.
You can do papers. I think it's a
good with Google Docs.
What can you not do?
But you can do.
I'd rather give them
But look, it's fine. It's his opinion.
That's
what I'm trying
Tell
to get
me
at.
what can you not do with a Chromebook that you can do with any other computer?
What if I don't? What if it's some sort of Windows app that's not on? It's not a Chrome app. I want to use Microsoft Word and not Google Docs.
Well, why not use Open Office? Why do you have to use Microsoft Word?
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Bruce
They have Google Docs.
Bruce is going to win the conversation.
They have a
regardless.
word processor.
Here's one thing we don't have to argue
They
about.
have presentation software.
Do we have
we have a caller.
Okay.
We have a it's been quite a while since we've heard from this gentleman, so let me just bring him on.
Who is this?
Is there a main man like that?
Who is this? Oh, I don't think we have.
Uh-oh. It's not working. Hang on.
Do you not have? Oh, wait
It
a
is
minute.
our main man.
I do
Micah.
hear him. I do hear him. Micah.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
how are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's so good to hear you guys again. I happened to turn on Twitter at the right time as opposed to catching up 3 hours later, and reminded me that my buddies were on, that the Hey Techies were there.
My goodness.
And so I've been listening for about the last half an hour, and I have to answer the guru's question about what you can do on any other computer that you can't do on Chromebook.
Well, go right ahead.
Stay anonymous.
Stay anonymous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Right, Bruce?
That is accurate.
Yeah. Well, we weren't considering that, but that is a great point. That is a great point.
Because, you know, when you're talking about phones, as you're talking about in France, which is a whole different story, but I think it was you mentioned, Mike, that, you know, then Google, no, maybe it was the Chromebook, and Bruce said then Google owns you. You know, Google has all your data. Well, if you have a phone, either all your data is owned by Google or all your data is owned by Apple. Apple's doing better with it. They just came up with $1 trillion today.
Yeah.
But you know, you cannot remain anonymous and own a phone anymore. At least a cell phone. You know, landline. It may be a little different, but even then. But it sort of it interested me that you were talking about that, and I don't know if I like the idea of a Chromebook being given to children in schools, not because of the computing power, not because of anything other than you must make them register.
Well,
you couldn't register with false information, I guess.
Well, no.
There's got to be something in place because of the child privacy online under 13.
So, Micah, I do know a little bit about this actually, but I'm sure that in some areas that are not very what's the right word? They're not very organized in this deal that they might do. But however, what I'm getting at is it's sort of benign because I think it's pre-made accounts, and they're not really tied to anybody per se. They're just generic. So say user gets whatever at
but if the school has properly implemented it or implemented it in that manner,
right?
They could have just went and bought them at Walmart and handed them to here.
Yeah, no, yeah, well, that's true. But this is handed out through the school.
Yeah,
like they have to. I don't think the accounts are they're generic. I don't think they point to any. You wouldn't be able to point it to any
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We're right, or something like that.
So each student does not need to register for
not on their own. I think it's
email
through
account.
Right, it's through the school system. It's not theirs.
Okay, then overall, I don't know that I have a problem with it because I think basically what students are doing are searching the web, doing email, and doing spreadsheets and documents, and that can all be done with through Google, and I do it all the time. That's how the airplane geeks always share a show log or a show document over that, and it's very convenient. I don't like it as much as I like using my old version of Microsoft Windows. But compared to the new version of Microsoft Windows, it's probably equal. You know, and I like Open Office too. But Google Docs, you know, seems to work okay for me. But again, I'm using Microsoft Word version 2002.
Well, I think the two big tickers that do this for the school system is, one, it's in a cloud-based system, meaning the documents are easily shareable with teachers and otherwise. And the other thing is it's less expensive than doing the Apple infrastructure. Also, my son has told me that the taxing of their network has been a lot less. between using this product, ironically, somehow or another, than the Apple iPad products.
I wonder if they've upgraded the infrastructure.
Well, I think it has been done some, but I think that it seems like it would not be. I don't know what the big difference would be, but at any rate, apparently that's what he says.
Well, and also I think they're considerably less expensive to purchase because
Right.
there's no computing power in there. There doesn't need to be.
Well, you can get some that are.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some that are.
It depends on which model they got, but generally they can get a better price, which these school systems, especially public schools, they just have limited resources. So if you're going to do a one-to-one, it is very, it's a viable option if done correctly.
Well, for instance, one of the charges is if you damage the screen. Okay, it's not a touch screen; it's just a regular screen.
Right.
It's $40 to replace it. That's the cost to the student or parent in that. It would be me. I would be paying out the $40. But my son's a senior and he's had it for several years now, and he hasn't.
Do they charge you is there a fee they charge you like they did with the iPad?
Yeah, there's
the insurance fee.
Yeah, it's basically like a $50. Yeah, that's
Okay.
true. That
still
going
bothers
on.
me.
I know it.
But $40 for a screen is pretty cheap when it comes right down to it.
Well, but these are not the high end ones. That's the point. They're not buying ultra expensive products. It's a lot less than the footprint cost of an iPad, even the small one. Because they're only using it to. Well, I don't know if they're using it to augment teaching. I guess you could say that they're probably relying on it more than I think. I know they're trying to push books out, which I'm not exactly happy about the textbook. That's one problem I do have. I still think you need a math textbook. I think you in my opinion, learn math better that way, but maybe I'm old fashioned.
I think that well, I know for sure I'm old, but I know that I definitely comprehend more when I'm reading from a page than I am from a screen.
Yeah, I will agree with that too.
That happens for me. Now, I don't know if it's true for those that are younger than us, that those that are 8 and 10 and 12 years old, because they grew up in a different world, and so maybe the comprehension skills are different, and we're just old and backwards compared to them. Seriously, it's quite possible because those learning styles do change. Learning doesn't change, but the style of learning can.
Yeah, absolutely.
But on another note, I finally have a Windows 10 machine.
Oh, good grief!
All right.
You're going to laugh when I tell you what it is. But it came out through podcasting and a technology trade with podcasting.
Okay.
Our friends at Plain Talking UK came over to the U.S. and needed a SIM card for the U.S. So I helped them out and got them a SIM card with a company, and not particularly expensive, but rather than paying me back, they happen to have a Lynx 1010, which I saw them using. A Lynx 1010, a combination Windows 10 Atom processor and keyboard that can be a touchscreen or a pad that runs on full Windows 10.
Okay.
And they sent me that, and so I've been playing with it, and it's really fun. I don't like Windows 10,
right,
but it's handy because I've got this little tablet with a keypad that runs full Windows.
Now
and can upgrade it and everything.
Okay, I was going to ask you. So it's not running that cheaper Windows 10s, right? It's the full version.
It's the full version.
Okay.
It has only 32 gigabytes of storage on it, but it's got a separate SD card. And but I've been able to update it, and that can become a problem with less than that. But it's been doing very, very well. I mean, it's a little Atom processor, but nonetheless, it handles things well. I can't stand Windows 10, but nonetheless, it seems to be doing what I needed to do. And I installed Audacity on it, so when I go into interviews, I can record. It's got 2 USB ports on it, 2 full-size ones. I can record with my Audio Technica USB mic and get great recordings and save everything to Dropbox or to the SD card. And there's full Windows 10 pocket size.
That's good.
Nice.
So how have you been doing?
Been doing really well. Been doing very well. I've had a lot of fun recently with airplanes had a chance to interview the director of the Portland Jetport, and that was on Airplane Geeks a couple of weeks ago, and attended an Experimental Aircraft Association. Chapter 141 had a pancake breakfast and fly-in, saw some beautiful old aircraft, and actually used my iPhone with my portable Audio-Technica microphone plugged in through a Lightning port and USB adapter, and made some great recordings there too as well. So it's been a lot of fun technically.
Well, that's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And you guys have been busy, and the show's been on. The basketball season is over, and you're back every week now.
Yeah,
Yes.
we try. We did miss some weeks, but it has been a trial. Of course, we had a tornado up here, down here back in March.
I did hear about that. You guys are all okay, I assume?
Oh yes, no one died from it, but the university was badly damaged. And it's been quite a struggle. The cleanup is still ongoing. The place is a real mess. Yeah, but the station was fine. Many other places were fine. I mean, the tree damage was really unbelievable. Lots of, and not just the university, but the community around here. Lots of homes are damaged, but mostly from falling trees on homes and the wind, obviously, from the tornado.
Well, from what I've heard, and you guys can see it, so I would love to hear a firsthand account of it, is that different than a hurricane, a tornado, you can see the path, and it almost goes down a street. Could you see that?
Yes.
Can you see how that works?
Absolutely good.
Yeah. You can see through neighborhoods, Micah, that I really had no idea were there. And I've been driving around Jacksonville for 20 years. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that was over there.
Yeah,
I mean, that's that and elevation.
Yes.
When you have all these trees, you don't notice some other buildings. You drive up to them, but you don't realize from one other building to the next, wow, that's really a lot higher than I thought.
Or you're driving down, come around the square coming towards campus, and you're like, oh, I can see such and such building. I couldn't see it before from here because of foliage.
Right.
It's gone.
So yeah, it's changed the look of the campus
of the city.
Oh yeah, really
Yeah.
of the city. That's true. I keep saying
Yeah.
the campus because it's familiar to me, but of the city as a whole. Now, some of the city did not get in it, but the north part of the city, and that's where the campus is, really did get involved in the storm. Yeah, that happened back on the 19th of March. So.
Well, before I go, and I know you're going to be coming up on a break soon, let me offer you guys two great tech deals that I have heard about, phone deals that
sure.
you and your listeners might like to know about. One is that Sprint is still offering free year of service just for switching.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't do it in person. You have to do it online. But there is a deal where you just get your Sprint SIM card from them, and you end up getting a free year of unlimited talk, text, and data from Sprint just by looking for it. And if you look up free Sprint on Google, you can find it, and it's still available for a year, which is a pretty, not that Sprint has the greatest coverage in the world, but free, that's not bad.
If it's free, it's for me. It's what some people say.
Absolutely. And then if you need a phone for that, I don't know if you guys have you guys talked about the Moto G6?
We have not, but I did know they had one.
It's a reasonably new phone. It's got incredibly high ratings. It's been the top pick for Wirecutter for a while. It's about $250. And the really fascinating thing about it, and I'm curious from a technological perspective, and maybe you guys could tell me, it operates on every network, the same phone. AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, T-Mobile, doesn't matter. CDMA or GSM, the same phone. You buy the phone from whether it's Amazon, and you can get it a little cheaper from them if you want the Amazon software on it, or get it directly from Motorola.
Yeah,
and it doesn't matter. It works on any company's network.
But
and I have no idea how they do that.
Well, obviously they have both radios in there. They have to.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see how else they do it. They'd have to, if it's the same phone. I mean, I've heard of phones that have different phones for different carriers from the same manufacturer. But I got what you're saying.
Yeah, it's the exact same phone. You can look it up on Amazon or on the Motorola website, and you just order the phone, and apparently, a lot of the CDMA carriers all work with SIM cards now too, but I guess it does have the same radios or the two different radios, because you just order a phone and go to your carrier and set it up.
Yeah.
I think that's fascinating. That's the first one I've ever heard of like that.
Yeah, it is actually. We'll have to look into that.
So, and those are and for $250 again for a low cost Android phone, you can't beat it. So I just thought I'd offer your listeners
we
those
appreciate
two tips.
that.
Yeah, thank you
can
so
get
much.
a free service for $250. Sign up for service with Sprint. You got free service for a year.
I just wanted to tell you, Micah, that Bruce is still on the show. I didn't know if
I'm here.
I'm
I'm looking up this Sprint deal.
Oh yeah, you.
Well, he's done for the rest of the night.
Yeah, he's
so-
done. Yeah, he gets something on his laptop over there, Micah. We never get him back.
Yeah, that's okay though.
Has there been a Bruce rant yet tonight? Because I certainly have missed those the most.
Well, we haven't quite gotten to the Google is trying not to be evil, but it is evil. So we haven't quite gotten to that. So we may still
you
yet.
may get a rant out of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm looking forward to it. Look, you guys, you take care. I wanted to call and say hello, let you know I'm still around and I'm still listening.
Thank you so
thanks,
much,
Micah,
Micah.
so much for calling.
Really
Hearing from you.
appreciate that. Thank you
Have
so
a
much.
great night.
All
You
right,
too.
take care, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Oh, cool. Well, we
That
do
was
have
so good to hear from Micah.
yeah, we do
That
have to go
was.
to break. We went long.
That's
But
all
that's
right.
okay. Thank you so much, Micah. We do appreciate it. Micah's hosted the show before, and if you want to hear
Yes.
that, you can look it up, search it on the HeyTechiesShow.com, and listen to the podcast. Hey Techie Show. Be right back.
No representation is made that the opinions of hosts here are better than those of the average tech show, but we think so.
This is an Alabama legacy moment.
The Little River Canyon National Preserve, located in Cherokee County, was created in 1992 by an act of the U.S. Congress and was dedicated as a unit of the National Park Service. The area's focal point is the Little River, which flows along Lookout Mountain and is an outdoor recreation destination. Small waterfalls, sandstone bluffs, trails, creeks, and streams draw visitors to the area.
Sponsored by the Alabama Bicentennial Commission, the ABA, and this station.
When a child plays with blocks, the skills of a future engineer, rocket scientist, contractor, and architect are developing. A child on the playground is practicing the skills of a future athlete. When a child creates art, the skills of a future illustrator, author, and artist are being discovered. In a first-class pre-K classroom, children do all these things and discover a lifetime love of learning. For more information on pre-K, go to children.alabama.gov or just Google pre-K in Alabama. Sponsored by Alabama Department of Early Childhood Education, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Alabama legacy moment.
Birmingham native Erskine Hawkins was a prominent African-American trumpeter, bandleader, and composer during the big band era of the 1930s and 40s. His Erskine Hawkins Orchestra was a popular dance band in New York City, and with it he recorded the hit Tuxedo Junction, about a streetcar intersection on the Ensley-Fairfield line that was a center of nightlife for African Americans. Hawkins is a member of the Alabama Music and the Alabama Jazz Halls of Fame.
Welcome back into the Hey Techie Show, where sometimes we have the show off the air.
Yeah, sometimes we do.
Then we have the parking lot show.
Yeah, that's right.
do.
We have a parking lot show and the green room show that's not really green.
So Mikey, and this is gonna be a shameless plug or whatever, because I'm really full and I have that same feeling that I had the other day.
Oh, here we go. What we had to eat. Here we go.
I don't know if you realize at Wise Guys during lunch how big that pizza is.
I'll bet.
It is so big. And now, like, they're getting a free plug here, right? But at the same time, don't get 2 slices of pizza or else you're going to be way too full.
How big are the slices? I've never
my
been there.
gosh, they're huge during lunch.
How big is the pizza like?
No.
I mean,
See, their lunch is totally different from, like, guess what their regular pizza slice would be.
Yeah.
Because that's the mistake I made.
I'm listening. I'm sorry. I'm listening to you.
All right.
Trying to deal with
I went there the other day, and I mean, just a huge slice of pizza. My daughter ate every single bit
of
hers, except for the crust at the top. But I mean, I was impressed that she ate the whole slice. I was like, man, I'm full. I was like, how did she do that? So I don't know. Just that's kind of how I feel right now. So full from that sandwich I ate.
Wait. Yeah, but you didn't get it from there. I mean,
no, I didn't.
Okay,
but I feel that same way of like
I get.
My eyes were bigger than my stomach.
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, if you go there for lunch, don't be misled and think, oh yeah, I'll get 2 slices.
Bruce's tip of the day, folks.
Yeah,
you only get this stuff here on Hey Techies.
Yeah,
that's right.
Did
So,
you-
Michael, when you come down to Alabama, we'll take you there.
Did you figure?
Absolutely.
Did you figure out whether there was kind of any kind of real restrictions with that deal? I mean, the
Sprint, back to Sprint.
I mean,
now.
you weren't
Yeah.
even listening to what we were talking about. You were reading that, so I thought maybe you had
Let me
actually
get
come up
back
with.
to- So I found a site that talks about it, and it's called whistleout.com.
Okay.
And it's really interesting because I was going through there, and
Whistleout.com.
Whistleout,
and you'll
yep.
send me the link later.
Sure.
Okay.
But for Sprint, it showed basically what their coverage was per state. If I can get back to it, and it showed like in Alabama, it covered about 30 something. Oh, here it is down at the bottom of the page. It covers 27.94% of the state.
Oh,
So
you're talking about of Alabama.
Yeah, here I'll send you.
Okay, in a minute. I get it. You don't have to worry about it right now. That's just
no. Make you happy. There.
You really think that's going to do it? I mean,
It should.
Michael is happy now.
Oh, good grief!
So it says it's still going on, but whenever I try to link up to it off their site, it kind of just loads and then nothing happens. So I'm sure it's somewhere there. Sprint's trying to probably keep it hush hush.
So this is hard to get to. Is that what you're? It's not exactly the easiest thing to find this deal.
Let's try CNET. They're definitely trustworthy.
Okay. Well, anyway.
But I was gonna tell you, didn't I say $12.99?
Yes, that's what I wanted to mention.
So it was based on what Whistleout's saying is that you basically pay $13 up front. That pays for your SIM card and the shipping and handling. But you bring your own phone. If you switch from, it just says Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, and other carriers.
Okay, so I have a question now.
Okay.
Is somebody either somebody left Sprint and is now working at MoviePass, or somebody from MoviePass has left MoviePass and is working at
said,
Sprint?
Look, I got this great
this
plan.
great deal. It's called free
Free.
service. Well, there's got to be. I'm sorry, I don't believe.
Is that how MoviePass may need to put like their company phones on
I
that
don't
plan?
believe in
Save some
free
money.
service without a catch. There's got to be something.
And that's what I'm trying to get to.
I know,
where
but we
it is on
won't find it
Sprint's
before
site.
the end of the show.
Yeah,
it's unlikely.
And it was no contract
That we know about. There's got to.
I mean, it looks like you're gonna have to pay, the regular taxes that you're gonna have to pay.
So they're actually prorating or something. They're giving you a credit.
You're gonna spend like $3 or $4 a month.
Right, you pay the tax. They're going to give you some kind of credit. Say the bill's $50. I mean, this is just round numbers. They're going to give you a $50 credit, but you pay the tax. It's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah. Well, it's like I have UMA and it's free. And I just pay the taxes.
Yeah.
Now I had to buy their hardware.
I still don't understand how that they're making money on that, but they got to pay their employees. I don't understand. I'm sorry. I'm from the old school of paying employees. I don't understand it.
Well, first of all, they probably have less employees, but they also have other services that you can buy from them.
I get that,
and I'm sure the $100 or whatever that I paid for the hardware probably cost them.
I'm not
$15.
Well, I don't know about that company. I'm thinking about Sprint. Now, Sprint's a huge company, and they've already made. I'm sure
they've made some money.
Well, they have, but they need to continue to make money.
Yeah,
I mean that's not a small.
Well, the thing is,
it's not a small company we're talking about here to offer free service.
They're playing the long con here.
Yeah.
After a year, they're like, they'll just stay. They'll just stay.
They're praying they'll stay.
Yeah, no, they'll be
Please stay.
They'll be like, I can't make a phone call anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering about.
Forget this. But no, I think I could see saying like, especially if it was a bring your own device, saying, hey, try us out for 6 months.
I guess I always thought of Maine, and I know Micah is more mountainous. Maybe it's not.
Let's see what Maine's coverage is,
because it just seems he seems. I mean, I've heard him talk before. He's told us before. I think even in the thread one time that he has pretty good coverage with Sprint up there.
And it depends on where you live, because
I know that.
It's gonna be great if there's good coverage there. Like I love Sprint, but like if there's spotty coverage, like Sprint's awful. Why do you like Sprint?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, for Maine, according to Whistle Out, they cover a whopping 9%.
But if you're in that 9%, though, hey, I'm good.
Yeah,
but they state that Verizon is the best coverage, and coverage from AT&T is fair in certain parts of the state.
I wonder if they're piggybacking on some, borrowing,
paying
for some other. Of the,
I don't know.
Renting. Other services
Sprint covers 168 zip codes in Maine. Interesting.
This is going to be a short rumor segment.
Well, we can start a couple.
Bruce? I think I already have.
Yeah.
I already said there's got. I rumor that someone from MoviePass is now working at Sprint, or the other way around.
They're shared employees. Maybe that's how they're surviving.
That's it.
Or
where did that $5 million come from?
Or somebody from the Oprah Winfrey show.
You get a phone, and you get a phone, and you get a phone service for free.
Yeah,
for a year.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, so I have one, so I'll go ahead and share mine. I guess this is from Mashable. So there's some leaked images of what the new iPhones will look like. So, kind of getting to the meat of the article here, the leaker of phone-related things, Ben Geskin, shared dummy model phones of the 6.1-inch and 6.5-inch iPhones, which Apple is rumored to launch this fall. The models don't show anything particularly surprising. The 6.1-inch phone, which is rumored to be the budget phone for the 2018 lineup, is black, has a notched screen, and a single rear camera. The top of the 6.5-inch variant is shown in white and has a dual rear camera. According to this, the budget phone will have a notch, so there'll be no more. It'll be the notched only. Apparently, if this is true, the two phones are shown side by side, both flat on the surface and in human hand, giving us a pretty good idea of the size. For comparison, the iPhone 10 has a 5.8-inch. So these are apparently a little bit larger than the 5.8-inch iPhone 10, a 6.1 and a 6.5. The third phone Apple is rumored to launch this year, the 5.8-inch iPhone, isn't shown, but is likely to be more or less identical to the current iPhone 10. But my question is, will it have Touch ID? These phones?
Oh yes, absolutely. I'm going with that. Even I'll go on a limb and yes.
Okay.
It's going to have Touch ID.
Well, if it has Touch ID, I will get it.
It'll be on the Apple.
I'm trying to think.
I'm sorry.
You're thinking the Face ID.
You're right. I'm an idiot tonight.
Well, I was about to say that's kind of a
absolutely. They'll have this thing that they don't have in their iPhone 10.
No. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna be very disappointed.
You know, I
if it
was
doesn't
doing
have
something
Touch ID.
else, and I wasn't thinking. I wasn't registering. I wasn't registering what you said. I don't think it'll have Touch ID. I will be shocked.
I think the higher end phone will.
What? No, the higher end phone will have a Face ID
and Touch ID.
Oh, you think? Okay. So you think the new iPhone 10 or whatever they're gonna call it?
Because there's already been 2 companies that have come out with the touch on the screen, right?
Which ones? Not successfully.
Yeah, no, I think successfully.
Samsung.
Well, I know Apple. I know Apple Samsung. For a while was working on that.
Huawei.
Huawei might have been one. Or Xiaomi.
Xiaomi.
I think Xiaomi was one.
Okay, so this is. I wanted to compare the screen size of the current iPhone 8 and 8 Plus, and of course, you know, you can say screen size, but it depends on the aspect ratio. I couldn't think of that term.
Yes.
So the iPhone 8 has a 4.7-inch display. The iPhone 8 Plus, which is the larger one, like the one I have here, has a 5.5-inch. And this was rumored to be 6.1 and 6.5. But, you know, what aspect ratio is it going to be? Is it going to be taller?
Yes.
Which would make, you can't really, it's not a true apples to apples comparison.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
At all.
You know, if it's all 16:9 aspect ratio, you can say, well,
Yeah.
20, you know, a 6.1 is bigger than a 6.0,
right,
or 5.5 or whatever. So we'll see. That was the rumor I had.
Well,
Vivo was the name of the company.
Vivo.
The images are leaked, folks.
And you have one of these phones, right? And you know, I mean, everybody. How many phones this company sold? Any idea? Vivo, is that what you said?
Vivo, yeah.
Vivo.
I'd like to know.
Ask the
Are they a
Verge.
$1 trillion company yet? I mean, I'm just
probably pretty close.
Oh, right. My point is, I have not heard of a desired phone that has yet implemented that in a screen that people are buying and using, like, you know, hot knife through hot butter.
Let's look up a Vivo then.
I just don't. I haven't heard. I mean, I'm not saying I know everything. I know I don't.
X21.
While he's looking that up, well, since we're talking about Apple stuff, we mentioned this at the beginning of the show about the 1 trillion Apple market cap. Well, I did look this up during while y'all were bantering back and forth. And
sure,
Apple stock did close above 1 trillion market cap today.
Yeah,
earlier in the day it actually hit that. Then it started, you know, it fluctuates
because it's going to be doing that tomorrow. It's
right,
fluctuate tomorrow.
But as of close of business on the stock market today, Apple stock did close above 1 trillion in market cap. So there you go.
I told you guys in the green room. It's all those iPhone 10s that they sold because
at $1,000 a pop.
Yeah, because the profit margin is high, and it's all those 30% that they stole from all those developers. You know, those poor developers that didn't make any money on any of their products. That
I mean, the 70% that Apple kept.
No,
because the developer gets 30%.
Oh, I thought no. No, that's free. No, Apple gets 30%. The developer gets 70%.
Now I sound like an idiot.
No, you don't. You just got it confused. That's easy to do.
Yeah, especially with Apple, you kind of expect them.
No,
to
it's
take
37.
70%.
No, 30-70. 30-70.
Yeah,
they take them in.
They take their.
There is no question.
They take their fair share.
Okay, this is not a statement that anybody should be able to make. This is not hard. No iPhone, no $1 trillion. No iOS, no $1 trillion.
Oh, absolutely.
No doubt.
That's become one of their biggest product lines is the phones. I mean,
it's not even arguable.
Yeah,
I know it's not.
So anyway,
you don't get to $1 trillion in market cap selling laptops.
No, nah. Not yet. Not yet.
Huawei's going to put it in their Mate 20 Pro, apparently. There's your last rumor.
Well, that is, yeah. There you go. We had to go to an early break. We went long in the last segment. Hey, take a show.
HeyTechiesShow.com. Open 24/7, as long as we don't forget to pay the bill.
This is an Alabama legacy moment.
Harper Lee is best known as the author of one of the most affecting and widely read books of American literature, To Kill a Mockingbird. The native Alabamian drew deeply from her coming-of-age years in her small hometown of Monroeville. The film version of To Kill a Mockingbird underscored the success of the novel with its own success.
Sponsored by the Alabama Bicentennial Commission, the ABA, and this station.
The skills you can develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you an edge in the high-tech job market of tomorrow. The Guard offers career training to take advantage of your skills in science, technology, engineering, and math that can help give you a leg up to a high-paying and rewarding STEM profession. Get a head start on your career while earning money to pay for college. Log on to NationalGuard.com to learn about all of the STEM career opportunities in the Army National Guard. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
An Alabama legacy moment.
Ruby Pickens Tart was one of the foremost chroniclers of folklore, folk music, and narratives of African Americans in rural Alabama. She helped to fill the manuscript and music collections of the Library of Congress and the Federal Writers Project. Ruby Pickens Tart continues to affect the world of folk music and culture as her notes are rediscovered by a new generation of scholars and musicians. She was inducted into the Alabama Women's Hall of Fame in 1980.
Sponsored by the Alabama Bicentennial Commission, the ABA, and this station.
Do you have a product, service, event, or just about anything to promote, but you have always assumed it was just too expensive? Then listen up. It's not. Here at WLGS, we have every patron spot available with a pricing plan that is sure to fit any budget. Just think your very own patron announcement with the potential to reach thousands. There are a few restrictions, but let us worry about that. Email us at questions@HeyTechiesShow.com. That's questions@HeyTechiesShow.com. Hey, Techies Show. Guru and his creative outlet.
Well, I wanted to play the song longer. It's a good song.
I didn't say
Hey,
that.
I'm fine with playing the songs long.
Yeah, he wants just 15 minutes for the rest of the show.
No. I always like it
we
whenever
can have our musical
I like
interlude.
it when shows do that. I'm like, man, this is a good song. Like, and then I go look for it.
So we need a 3-hour block of time to have our show. We just have more music.
Oh, speaking of that.
There you go.
Speaking of,
Solved.
I don't want to do too much of this, but
I don't
speaking of
either.
that,
Moving on.
have you noticed? I can't remember if it's Android O or the previous Android. I think it was an Android update. My phone has built-in song recognition.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a choice where I could, instead of having an app, it'll show up right here on my phone.
Apple's had that for years.
They have. It just shows up right on your phone.
You just tell Siri, what song is this?
Yeah, I was gonna
Well,
say.
no, I don't have to tell it anything. It shows up right here. I
So
just
you should have put it up to the speaker. We could have tested it.
there was nothing on there, was there?
No.
No.
Well,
Yeah, I guess there was.
headphones.
Yeah, there would
There
have
was
been.
before I turned the mics on. You would have heard it on the speakers in the room.
But yeah,
That's
no,
true. You're
that's
right.
been with
Well,
ever since
but
they
I-
had
We need
OK,
to, we'll test it
whenever they had
I don't
OK
think-
Google. That's whenever it came
when Undercurrents comes on after the show. We'll test it.
I'm
with
not.
Greg McVickers.
I believe you, but the reason I'm bringing that up is because I had
Yeah.
a thing come up and tell me, "Oh, hey, you can turn this on." Like I had a
But
it
so,
wasn't a
so now
pop-up,
it's
but
listening to everything you say.
well, of course, but it was already doing that.
Yeah, but I think
I'm
you
not-
have that turned on because for songs for me it doesn't show that. until I say, "Okay, Google."
No, I do
or
have it
press
turned
the
on. Yes, I have
signs
it turned on. Yes.
and say,
Like I'll be watching a TV show at home, and
Yeah.
there'll be a song come on or something, or a commercial, and I look down and it sort of
it's like, "Hey, this is what you're listening to."
right, correct.
Yeah. I forget where that's, but I turned all that off.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you did, and I don't blame you. You know,
Discover songs with now playing.
yeah, but I don't remember that. Has that
Turn
always been
on.
there? I don't think that's always been there.
Yeah, you can turn it on. See,
That's not what I'm
mine's
saying.
off. Now playing works
Yeah.
offline.
Y'all-
and
y'all
never
quit-
send
y'all quit-
songs
y'all quit
on
fussing
our
over there.
background conversations to Google. We
Yeah.
covered this on the
I
show.
feel like I'm about to referee y'all too.
You shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Google,
Oh yeah. So don't do evil.
yeah, don't
Or
do
don't
evil.
be evil.
Don't
Which
be
is it?
evil. Do evil. Whatever.
Whatever.
And I really do believe that there's going to be an uprising over this. The folks that were upset, like we talked about before the show, that no one heard. The folks that were upset about the drone,
Yeah.
don't create the drone software for the DoD. They're going to be upset about this censorship deal in China. They're going to be they're probably the same ones are going to be on the warpath.
Yeah.
Forgive the term, over the censorship that now is said that there is a small group of people at Google working together to create a search engine and a system that whereby China will be able to censor what's on there, what's being found on their search engine.
I'll say this, at least those people work in a place where they can bring their concerns and not fear
Yeah, well, that's true.
what's the word I'm looking for?
Retribution?
No. Retaliation.
Retaliation. Oh, that's not the same. I guess it is. Okay. Retaliation, yes.
So that's all I'm saying. At least they work and they can voice their concerns.
I don't even know where.
Sometimes, no matter how crazy they may seem.
Well, yeah, I get that.
And I'm not saying I agree or disagree with any of them that they've brought forth. I think that's good that they feel like they can have a voice in the company that they work for. Now, what are they going to do for China? What do I think about Google doing that with China? I think they're fighting a losing battle there. I don't know why you would be interested in doing business in China, because one, they're going to either steal everything that you have to make their state-run businesses better, or two, they're going to essentially regulate the heck out of them, or demand certain things that it's not going to be profitable for them. I don't see how Google's seeing that there's going to be a profit unless they are trying to backdoor their way in to accidentally allow people to search. I don't know. I don't know there.
What about this? What about the possibility, and I think it's more than a possibility, that so much about technology companies are tied to China in some way or another. And this is almost like, well, we scratch your back, you're going to scratch our back.
Maybe.
I mean, a lot of technology
I
is.
don't think it's a good idea.
Well, I didn't say whether it's a good idea, but well, okay, fine. Let's go back to this. Since we talked last week, and I'm only comparing this, we couldn't figure out whether or not the so-called stunt that people said Musk had with the submarine. Okay, hold on. What would be the point of this with Google? I mean, it can't be a stunt.
Oh yeah. I see what you're saying.
There's got to be some internal. Google's got to be saying, okay, we know this nugget exists that we're going to get out of this. The negativity has to be under what they're going to get positive out of it. It's got to be tangible. There would be no point in doing this if they thought the negativity from the backlash was going to be greater. I mean, for instance, they would have to know that they couldn't keep this quiet. it's going to be eventually found out. There's no way to keep this is 2018.
Yeah.
There's no way they're keeping it quiet that they develop a search engine that
For China,
for China that the government could control. That will never stay quiet. So the question is, what is the nugget that they know they're getting out of this that's worth that?
I don't know.
Well, I know
Maybe
I don't,
that
but there's
people
got
will go to Google and search for the story.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh,
I just
man.
think that there's something deeper here that obviously we don't know. The powers at Google do know. One way or the other, somebody has somebody over a barrel, in my opinion. I could be wrong about that, but it's just something that I think. Somebody's got not something on somebody. I'm just saying that this is a volatile friendship, if to use the terminology, and somebody has the cards. Otherwise, why would they be doing this? I mean, Google, it can't totally be about money because Google has money. It's not like they can't garner the information, the data from someone else. Well, I don't know. The EU is trying to close the door on Google, so it could be a way to not be shut out of that part of the world. I mean, there is that. The EU at every turn is trying to put Google back in its box over here in the United States.
Maybe.
In some sense of the word.
So if you're Google, and I forget how many billions of dollars the EU was just trying to.
Oh, it was what was it?
It was ridiculous.
Was it the last one was like 5 billion, somewhere in the neighborhood.
I mean, at what point do you just say, okay, I'm gonna pack up my toys and go home?
But the problem is
I can make plenty of money over here, and you're going to be saying, "Oh man, why did we do that?"
But see, they're fighting Apple. You can't. You're the only way.
Then let Apple fight that battle.
But no, what I'm saying is the only way you're going to. I don't think you're going to be the number one U.S. handset maker, or whether they're not even that. I didn't mean it that way. I don't think you're going to be the number one U.S. Phone OS maker just in America. That's not going to happen. That ship is over.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if they want to be the number one.
Well, of course they do. They want to get as much information. I mean, how else could you garner that much information unless you're the number one total? I'm not talking about an individual, like the number one OS for phones. You sold more.
Oh, yeah.
But the only way they're going to do that is worldwide. They're not going to do it just in the United States. That's not going to happen. I don't think they can afford to lose that footprint. And to me, that's another reason why they're going to have to play footsie with the EU, because they can't leave all those users out in the cold. I mean, how could they? I just don't. I don't know. Like I said, I could be totally off base here, but it looks like to me that they're not going to be able to do that. That's not a financial decision that they would want to make. Nor do they want to go. Nor do I think would they want to go backwards. That to me would be a move backwards, a retreat from having that footprint, that foothold in other countries. And the EU is definitely hell-bent to either allow them to continue with the charge that they're going to fine them every so many years, whatever billions of dollars, and you can still sort of be involved, or you're not going to do this, have this thing you have, this, this, what would you call it? Power without checks and balances, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what else you would call what the EU is totally upset about, but basically it's more or less Google, from what I understand, the latest one was I think if I can simplify this, Google was forcing handset makers to install their products. I mean, it's a Google OS. I mean, I know we beat this into the ground. I don't know, Bruce. I just those are the things I can think of, and not that any of them are good ideas, but there's got to be something. I just don't think they would be doing this to placate China. It's got to be something. They wouldn't get anything out of it. They're going to get bad will over here for the most part from some of their users.
Yeah.
Well, not only some of the users, but some of their own internals.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that to me, there's a lot.
Or is it just to say, okay, we're not going to do it. See how good we are.
Well, no, that could be, but that's spending a lot of capital on something you're ended up not going to do. But they've done that before.
Have they spent any capital, or are they
I'm
just
sure they have.
they just creating a story?
Well, that's true too. All those things are possible. Guru has been really silent.
I've just been listening.
So one last story.
Okay.
You got about 90 seconds.
U.S. adults now spend nearly 6 hours per day watching video. That's up, I think, 17 minutes from last year is what
they're watching Hey Techies. That's the average is 17 minutes.
That's right. So I think it was up somewhere around there.
U.S. adults
spend on average 6 hours per day on video. But my question is, how much of that are they actually paying attention, and how much of that is just Netflix playing in the background? Because that's the thing; they're actually counting stuff from Netflix and just your Roku and all that. Nielsen's pulling that.
Wait a minute.
We
don't
have but a minute.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
you mean
you have 1 minute.
You mean to tell me people play Netflix in the background and not paying attention to it? I mean, what's the point? I thought
I'm paying for it. I might as well play it.
It's not a music subscription. It's a video. It's watching like TV or
exactly. It's like watching TV. How many people just have TV on in the background and not really pay attention to it?
It's not like
think of the cord cutters. Cord cutters don't have this. They can turn TV on.
It's not like a news media ticker.
Yeah, but
channel.
I've watched Parks and Rec in the Office. Well, I haven't watched The Office that much, but Parks and Rec I've watched over and over and over. Like I can just play it and leave it on, not even pause it, just like go downstairs, do some laundry, come back up, and pick it up wherever it's still playing. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a great part. Like I don't even have to just let it play.
I get it,
because I probably watched a video throughout the week. I probably watched 6 hours of video a week.
Well, the Hey Techies Show has run out of time. But don't forget, HeyTechiesShow.com. You can listen to all those shows.
And
from all of us,
2
all
hours
of you,
of
have a
video.
great weekend.
The Hey Techies Show is produced by The Guru and co-produced by Mike Stedham. Join us again next time for another exciting installment of The Hey Techies Show. It's going to be great, maybe.